Yo, fight the power, fight the passivity, fight for your rights to be more. The revolution will not be televised, it will be live. Yo, fight the power, fight the passivity, fight for your rights to be more. The revolution will not be televised, it will be live.
Stand tall, heavyweight, no fall. Get up, Listen. Listen, fight the power, break the chain, fight the passivity, rip the blindfold off, embrace the stark validity, fight for your rights, demand the maximum, nevertheless. We rising from the concrete, stepping out the wilderness, don't let them sublimate your mind, don't let them mute the roar, clogged up by the procrastinators, blocking up the door, the prognosticators, lying, selling futures that are faking, the mendacious masticators, chewing up the truths we make. They talk a lot of game, but they hiding in the shade. We step into the front, no fear, we unafraid. The future belongs to us, the blueprints in our hands. Time to take it back, take a stand across the lands. Protect the transmission, clear the static from the eyes. The revolution won't be televised, it's tearing through the skies. It will be live, in the flesh, breathing in the street. No filter on the screen, just a pounding of the fight the power. Fight the power. Take it back now. Fight the power. Fight the power. We don't back down. Yeah. We don't back down. Hands on the wheel, let the doubt get tossed. Every chain got a sound when it finally gets lost. They can dress up fear and call it a plan, but we built our own future with the hammer in hand. No sleep for the sold out, no peace for the fake. No room for the cowards when the pressure is awake. From the block to the valley, from the mills to the shore, we ain't begging for a seat, we kicking down the door. Say it once, say it loud, let it ring in the hall. One voice turns a spark into a war, full roar. If they bury the truth, it comes up through the cracks. And every step we take is a step that attacks. Hear that? That ain't a rumor. That ain't a dream. That's us. Fight the power. Look, fight the power. Fight the power. Take it back now. Fight the power. Fight the power. We don't back down.
Moment, but this is the Warehouse 15, and we are back from everything, and we got a lot to talk about today. How you doing, gentlemen? Oh, nice shirt, nice hat. Hey, Nico, did my hat come yet? Okay, all right.
Every
I'm still
time.
waiting for it.
I sent it.
Hey, honey, we're on the podcast now, so all that unnecessary adness. All right. Got to
Can't hear
silence the house. My daughter and wife are having a moment.
Can you hear anything in my background?
No, you don't hear mine either, right?
No, nothing.
All right, you guys
No.
you can chat away.
Yeah.
Just don't chat too much. You can turn the TV up, honey. We're watching the Knicks. What's the score?
It's 95. The Knicks are losing by a couple, but it's been back and forth. Knicks are playing tough though, man.
They get 3, that's going to be it.
Dude, for sure.
Yeah.
For
Well,
sure.
what we got today, gentlemen? What do we get? There's a lot going on. I see the parade of mediocrity is continuing, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, I want to talk about a couple things. Actually, one thing that just hit my desk early. Early this afternoon. But TJ, let's talk a little bit about like the final result of the North Carolina vote. We saw what happened there, and it's you can break it down.
Yeah, I think we talked about last time, we knew what the votes were going to look like at the end of the day, but having to sit through and listen to and watch people cheat and celebrate it, the win was a little bit harsh for me. It was, to say the least, both of them got up there and they talked. You had I think what's his name? Thomas Husky went first. I'm gonna say his whole name because I just want to make sure we're talking about the same person. He goes first and he goes on this rant about the dumbest thing I heard was that high level taekwondo has been gate kept for too long, and he wants to expose the community to high level taekwondo. And him and his buddies were sitting
By
around.
who? Who's
I don't
gatekeeping
know. I
in
don't
North
know. I don't
Carolina?
know. I
Him,
don't know.
him, and
I guess
his
maybe.
his busted ass
I don't know.
online school.
I don't know. I don't know. It was rough to listen to and then watch these guys. Oh, and the second stupidest thing I heard was he's doing this because he thinks he's the guy for the job. Has he not been paying attention? Technically, you were the third guy for the job, stupid. Like, I don't know, like, no, we all know this, correct? To
Yes.
be true. So so to parade out there and pretend this I watched this guy fist pump. After they came back and said that was he fist pumped as if he did not know that they were gonna win by cheating.
Come on. Like he fist bump, like I got this.
Not that bad. Just like a little like yeah, like a thing. Like my guy, you had students and people that are close to you go and make clubs last seconds before, put their names on all of them, shift votes to other people just to win this, and then you fist pump. I,
I'm gonna go one more.
I've never seen more of a loser mentality in my entire life.
I'm gonna go,
I did not know it existed that way.
I'm gonna go one more. I'm gonna go one more just real fast. I mean, because you said he thought he was the guy. He didn't think that he was the guy from the beginning because at no point did he ever try to run against you when
Nope.
he knew you they were after you or Bernard Posey. It wasn't until the 11th hour. They just had to find somebody at this point because they had messed over Mr. Abdul for so long and they had talked about him on that podcast or that sorry that podcast that phone call and they mentioned him by name and how blah 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 how they're gonna and it just got trickled down to him. So I said, what a crock of lies. I felt I was the guy to change North Carolina. And again, I'm not saying he doesn't believe that
You
now.
look you look at the room and you look at the room and you see the side of the room that we're sitting on, and you see coaches who have schools, you see athletes who were training and a part of AU system and on their national teams and their cadet teams and continue to do it on the other side and travel internationally, have all this experience from the parents to the coaches to the athletes on one side. And on this other side, you have a group of people, some of them haven't even gotten their black belts yet. Like, what are we
That's
talking about?
crazy.
Like crazy. Some of them, like you're talking about leaders and being responsible for clubs that don't exist, and you're sitting there. And but the most embarrassing point has to be Husky because you allowed them to do that. My guy, you allowed them to be manipulated and almost just pushed around and like for what? What do they even know what they're fighting for? Do they even know what could it possibly be that you made them believe that that was something they should be doing in this moment? And you call yourself a leader? It's crazy, an
Yeah,
entire group of young adults in the room, and you're doing this and you're standing over them and you're walking around making sure the signatures look whatever you're supposed to be going on. It was embarrassing, and you had them do it. You had people acting out of character. They don't know what the hell is going on with this whole thing.
it's
For what?
amazing that it's TJ. It's amazing, like you said, that is. Listen, okay, if me and you are going to run each other against each other, I got my people, you got your people. We can agree to disagree. I'm on one side, you're on one side. I believe in X and you believe in Y. Okay, we can fight. But this one is a little bit crazy, right? Because it was very obvious. Like you said, there's people that had schools, people that have been to, the team trials, helped the organization at the national level, at the international level. Just all these things. It's not even debatable. And then you got these people, like you said, that just opened up a Pomestay club, just opened up a demo team club, just opened up a point sparring team club. Like
People that were inside of my gym training,
they have no investment,
days zero,
no investment, and they just went there to
zero.
do that. Shame on them, shame on him. And then they had the regional that they weren't supposed to give him anyway. And I heard there was 63 people. I heard there was 3 referees and 2 rings. Now again, I don't know. That's what I just read, and I laughed to myself. I'm like, and that's what you guys get. That's what you get. You probably won't, you know,
When
get
you
much
stoop to
more.
when you stoop to that level, I don't think you feel embarrassment anymore. I'm convinced. I'm convinced you can't feel embarrassment and act like that. Not even a little bit.
Yeah.
Not even a
Yeah.
little. It
Well,
was
I mean,
crazy. It was
I
crazy. It was crazy to watch. It was probably the most eye-opening thing I've seen in a long time because I know I say a lot of things like the system is rigged. I say a lot of things like this system is not for you, it's for them. And this goes on different levels, whether it's AAU, whether it's USAT. I don't care who it is. But to watch it that closely and to be in a room, it was just a different feeling.
I mean,
It's
there was a couple other states that, similar things happened and stuff like that. I'm not gonna, comment on it because number one, I don't know much about the details of it, but I heard it was something very similar where people were just getting signed up. But again, I don't know um, the details as much as I know of this one. But I just read something really probably about 10 minutes ago. Um, on Facebook, and I'm not going to mention the coach's name because I don't like to mention people that I don't want to front people out. But he wrote something pretty interesting, and he just basically said, I don't know what happened to our sport. The politics, the choosing the sides, the fake friends, the changing of the rules. He was just talking about that. And he's like, I just want to have fun. It's crazy that, if you are friends with somebody, somebody's keeping track of it and then they're going to tell you and hold it against you. And he's like, I don't want to vote. I don't want money. I don't want anything. I just want to take care of my athletes, my parents, my team. And that's it. Leave me alone. And it was funny because, I mean, I know a few years back he was involved in in the other organization, the USAT, and I think he was trying to help out on some cadets and junior levels. And for whatever reason, he fell out of favor. I'm not sure. I don't know anything about it. But when he wrote this, I was kind of like, it sounded like a guy that was fed up. Sounded like a guy that just said, you know what? I've sat back and watched this, and it's too much. And
it's
I
too
guess
much.
it is too much. And I like this gentleman. He has a very successful school. He's had very successful kids. His family's been involved in martial arts a long time. They've been involved with AAU, USAT for a long time. And to hear him just kind of voice that, it reminded me a little bit, not as in detailed as your thing, TJ, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, when you wrote that big, kind of just get things off your chest. I, I give him a little respect for that because, or not a little, I give him respect for that because it's not easy to write those kind of things because he knows the powers to be are watching and looking, So I don't know.
You try to do the right thing. You try to, like that we were talking about before, that playing the game stuff. I hate that term, playing the game. I don't think I've
Easy.
ever played the game. I've done Taekwondo for a long time. I stuck to my what we got.
Thank you, sir. May I have another? Thank you, sir. May I have another? Thank you, sir. May I have another?
That's
I,
basically that's basically what you have going on. Thank you, sir. May I have another? So the membership puts up with it, so they're bent over. There's a paddle out. There's a
the
bunch of
membership is, but see, the problem is, and I always think it's bigger than it really is. And someone reminded me the other day that there's this core group of sport Taekwondo people that like are paying attention, that are focused on what's going on. Like that group of people is handcuffed. Like it is a like you cannot win.
What do you
You're
mean that group? What group of people?
the ones that are in this. So he said it's on he blames the people, like the people paying to go. And I understand that.
Oh yeah,
I really get that. But I'm saying that core group that have this like, I'm gonna do sport taekwondo, I'm gonna be a part of this. I think at some point that group of people has to get mad. Everyone else is different. That group of people has to be the group that gets mad because those are the ones that invested all the time, all the energy, all the effort, show up to these tournaments day after time after time, put their money into it time after time, and they get treated like this. Like again, I just can't believe we've entered the world still that our junior team is not funded. I still can't even just wrap my mind around that simple part. And then
say
we're going to tournament after tournament for 275 a pop, 375 a pop. This. Pay for your tournament, pay for your registration, pay for the event, pay. Show up and pay some more. We'll get the national team coach. By the way, we'll get Dae-Hoon Lee. He's flying in too. He's gonna look at your kid too. Pay $50 extra. He'll sign a shirt for you. This is the craziest time in Taekwondo I've ever experienced in my entire life.
But TJ, I'm gonna say, like, I mean, I know we harped on that junior team for a long time. Even if they started tomorrow and they all of a sudden had some extra money and they're gonna start paying for them to go, it doesn't change the fact of what they've broken for, you know, for so long. You know, it really doesn't. And which leads me to this. I'm on a chat, a group chat in this area, in this region. And again, I don't know anything about it because I'm not involved, but there was this well-written thing, and it said that there was the AU went from an advertised $169 super saver rate. Listen to the marketing
Super
words
saver.
where you super saver rate. Sound like you're buying something from
Cornball.
Kmart.
The
Super saver.
super gulp from
No,
7-Eleven
Stupid.
or
it
pig.
was 160.
Actually, where you are, TJ, is what is it? A Piggly Wiggly? Go ahead. Sorry.
I've never seen one. I want to go.
$169 for super rate. And then it went to 348, which is right now. So I guess it went from 169 to 210 to 220, and now it's at 348 to register for the AAU. Think about this, 348. And again, I'm sure it's some late fees, but like, what are we doing? Like, I complain about, you know, one organization paying 195. I never paid the late fee because I mean, that's the early fee, but 348 for what you've said how many different times, TJ, to an organization that isn't the NGB. Like, that's the late rate. Now, it's funny because I did some research, and the sport karate, their early fee is $89. Their regular fee is 109. Their late fee is 159. Our start fee,
Super savers.
our super saver fee is $10 more than karate's late fee. Now, again, I don't know what you know why we have more expenses or whatever the case may be, but $350 basically. Come on, you got to do better. For some of these people to show up and have no fights, one fight. What? God forbid, TJ, you were one of these people that did fighting, forms, weapons, demo. Like, can
You know
you
what?
imagine?
I'm gonna go back one more at this East. I don't know if I talked about it last episode, but just talking about that reminded me of something. There was no like formal get all the kids together and go to the podium and get your medals. There was like
Wait,
none of that. Like you'd have to like go get the paper and then you would take it over to the picture place. You know that whole thing where the kids get to get on the podium and raise their hands and mom and dad get to be like excited and take good pictures with the backdrop and all that stuff. There was really
dude,
none of that. It
where's
was
the
just like get the
customer
paper.
service?
Like I know maybe it's not a big deal, but it is a big
Right.
deal. Because like it has to be a big deal a little bit when you're trying to like no. So you
No,
got. I mean,
TJ, when they're trying to say like this is a big event, we have a 29% increase. Of course, you had 29% increase. You made it part of your selection procedures, but because of the points, I mean, let's not kid ourselves. But anyway, 29% increase. Like, you set up a nice event, you got a horrible weigh-in area. Um, why don't you do things protocol? You know, have some good protocol, have some good customer service, have a nice setup where people can go there, the families can go there, the division can go there. It can't be that hard. They've
how
done
much
it.
did you say that was? $350.
No, USATs was
Late fee. No, forget them. AU's Super Saver discount late rate was $350.
got it right here. Give me 348, I believe. Give me a second. Give me a second.
Holy
348.
donut!
348. That's
That's
crazy.
probably for one event.
It is for one event.
The Super Soaker
Super.
50.
The
Just
upgrade.
pump up our powerful air pressure system. And you can soak someone up to 50 feet away.
Or to 350 feet away.
Hey, those used to be the toys, man. I
I
used to
love that
use
stuff,
them.
man.
Listen, it's about. Let me listen. I'm gonna make my call again because I'm doing a search for it. But I'm gonna give this to you because this is classic. This is what we need, my friend.
Cool. That's a cool little video or cool little
It's a
commercial.
great. Listen, it's a great. Gil Heron, and it's been quoted for years.
Hey, but
Revolution will not be televised.
But
It's
we
that was
have to be here. We're here. We're here.
that was
now.
That
But
was
you got to have a
Public Enemy,
revolution.
Chuck D.
My
The
point is, you got
revolution.
a revolution.
It has to be now. It's now. This is crazy. $350 for one tournament.
But
Like
the
to
problem
do.
is people. The problem is people. Like we said, like Herb, you said it. Like I mean, when we first started this podcast, you gotta stop with your dollars. You want to don't give them your dollars. You've said
Yeah.
that thousands of times, and that's the case. You know, hurt them by not going. You know, hurt them by not going. I mean, we'll see. Like I said, what the nationals looks like, what the tournament, what the numbers look like, and all that different stuff. But I mean, it
I
doesn't
just
matter. It's going down. I mean,
at one point it felt like just us and just us and this was going on and we got suspended and all that stuff. Blase, and that
Are
third.
you guys
But
still in double super secret
this is
probation?
this is spilling over to
yeah.
way more people and it has been affecting more and
Oh,
more people. When do you when do because I have my people that are close with me, my friends and coaches and people that I interact with and talk to within AAU and all that stuff like that. But when do some of these guys that are still currently in stop pretending like any of this is okay? Like it ultimately affects the entire organization and will eventually affect you. It's only a matter of time. Like,
it's only a
why
matter
are
of time.
we? It's only a matter of time. How are we sitting back and allowing this to happen
Well,
to
that's what
anyone
I'm
that you're
saying.
friends with?
That's what
Like, I
I'm
don't
saying.
get
Like
it.
that one
I
guy
don't get it.
that wrote that thing. That's basically what I'm gonna say happened to him. It eventually it came around to him, and he said, "Enough's enough." I like that's why I give him. I mean, a little late in my opinion, and but I know you're saying there's some, prominent people that are on social media and stuff like that are high fiving everybody and stuff like that. But they just gotta step up and have some huevos and do the right thing. But until they do it, the revolution will not be televised. We're going to keep being here, because you keep enabling them. You keep helping them out. You keep going on trips, with them while everybody else has to pay. You're enabling them. You're doing their work for them, which, yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
They
I don't
don't
know.
understand, and I that's the other part I realize sometimes that like I know history is history, and some people came into the sport a little bit later than history. Someone I had a phone call earlier on my way home, and they reminded me like, yeah, from '99 to this time, they understand what real Taekwondo and this and this and this. And the point they were trying to make was, it's hard to know what you don't know, and when you're being fed lies and false successes and these ideologies behind what success is or what it looks like to quote unquote be successful, you might get lost in the sauce and you do goofy stuff like this. But this is not successful. None of this is successful. From the start of Taekwondo, the first thing you don't cheat. Like what is the it's like what is the purpose of cheating? You never want to get something and you almost want the other guy to be so formidable and ready for you. I want to know you had a good training so when you go to the match and we figure out who's the best. These guys are cheating and jumping through hoops and
I don't know how you feel good about like that. You cheated, you won. Like, how do you
I
sleep at night
don't
as
get
a grown man with a little kid, a color belt or whatever? Like, you you cheated. You had the referee
clown.
help you out. That's
Clown.
craziness, craziness,
It makes no
craziness.
sense.
That's not
And
a real man. That's not a real woman. I don't care.
to actually cheer for it, to actually like, I, bruh, I don't even know how you show your face. I don't know how you march in there knowing what you know and go through with it like it's cool.
Yeah, I know you've talked about like the bad things that happened like in the past and stuff like that. But that's why I keep saying. But this and now, you got to work hard at cheating now. Like, what I'm saying? Before they just did it and shut up. Oh, look at the water, the things you always say.
Yeah.
Like you didn't have to work hard at it before. They just did it and it was gone. There was 2 terms a year that mattered. There was no social media there. You got to work hard to be a cheater right now. And there's a lot of them out there. A lot of people that are just drinking the juice, getting the hookup here and there, and everything is okay. It's crazy. It's crazy. But
Guys,
Again,
that
it goes back to, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to do? That's it. It's not really a question anymore. Now, if you understand that, what are you willing to do? Question is, as an organization and as a person, what are you willing to do? Are you willing to change? Are you willing to step up? And
there's no more changing. All these guys gotta go. The whole from both sides, everyone's gotta go. Everybody. No one gets to stay.
I'm not saying they do. I'm just saying that it takes the
Yeah.
membership to step up. It takes the people to step up. And if the people aren't willing to step up, then you're going to run into this over and over again. And then you're going to continue to see this. And it's unfortunate, but it is kind of what happens. So, what are you willing to do? That's really the question. What do you, as an organization, what as a person, what are you willing to do?
You got 3 Olympic medalists that have been in this system for a long time, all kind of like congruent to each other. Like, we talk about, when I first met you guys, how I interacted, how we are, all these things. And all of us have reached the Olympic podium, and we started all this white belts, and we've coached people, we developed people, we've been part of organizations and done all these great things. And we're sitting here telling you this isn't right.
We don't
There
know
has
anything,
to
but
be
we don't,
something to that.
has to be something to it.
Like, no, I think, I mean, I don't, is there another podcast that got 3 Olympic medalists on it in any part? Like, is there? I think this might be close to original.
Well,
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm talking junk.
I saw a post from Mundo Taekwondo or whatever where they equated showing up at the Olympics as an accomplishment. And I was like,
That's a thing now. No,
hold on. Let me
Just
be
make
clear.
the Olympic team.
Every
And I
four
get it.
every
Okay, I
4
get it.
years, there are 10,500 athletes who make Olympic teams around the world. That's not the medal count. That's how many get to call themselves Olympians because they make a team. That's great. Nothing wrong with that. But until you hit the field and until you win a match and until you win a bunch of matches, you can be an Olympian, but you didn't win anything. That's not enough. And that same individual is tick-tocking, wick-walking, and losing, continuing to lose. But there are people that show up, like we've talked about this. They show up for the warm-ups. So that's a warm-up guy. And it's unfortunate because talented athlete, but bad coaches, bad coaching, bad systems. And by the way, he's not helping himself. He's spending time making fake shoe commercials for a fake shoe company. Just to be clear, in the ecosystem of shoes in the world, in martial art equipment, the worst company, the last in the room is TThree. TThree who? You said TThree, somebody say God bless you in China. You know what the Chinese company is. You know what Nike is. You know what Adidas is. TThree? TThree kiss my ass. That's what TThree is. So you're gonna conflate yourself with that. Go work for Century. That's $100 million company. We've both worked for Century and Macho. So this stuff just drives me insane. I'm watching. I'm like, dude, come on now.
I think they're trying to give this kid. I think Tusa is trying to give this kid a chance. I don't think it's even on them. I think they're just, again. I think
Listen, I know. Listen, TThree, the most racist company in the world, TThree, worst. I could tell the story. I'm not going to tell the story. I don't do business with them anymore because they have one. They bleed one color, and that color ain't us. So just so we're clear, TThree, the boy, ruined his father's company. I know you guys like him. TThree can TThree this. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't.
Did I say all that out loud? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no! So
just
they
had
made a
lemon.
statement. They made a statement on the way in, and I think I'm smart enough to like. I take words very seriously when people say things. I kind of, if I'm a part of that group or something they were talking about, they said that they want to come and help this country, become a culture of not just make the national team, but be the best in the world. And I took really big offense to that. I think I've said it a few times. Because I've been around a lot of national team members in the United States that I've traveled with, that I've trained with, that I've interacted with, that I have that wasn't the that's not what it felt like. That's not what was going on. Did we win? Did we lose? Did we compete? Was it good? Was it bad? Sure. Were there a few people that made the national team, like, cameoed and then they were out? Sure. For 100%. But the core people that I was around and the people that we looked at as like contenders and people that were in this sport for real, committed, they didn't think that.
Even if they didn't
think that
win,
at
even
all.
if they didn't get as successful as they wanted to be, they were trying. I was on a lot. It was around the organization for a long time, especially when you were around, TJ. And I would agree with that. There was a few that were kind of like you said, made some cameos, had a great day or whatever, or weren't even at the development level yet where they could actually really make a difference or kind of like upset some people. But they were trying. They were working hard to be a national team member. So I agree with you. That's such a slap in the face to an organization that you don't even know anything about. Zero about.
And that
At the time you had been here once for a seminar, twice to talk. Well, second time to talk with a
yeah.
CEO.
Who but you know what's crazy? Who told you that? because
Yeah.
you couldn't have seen who out of their mouth in this organization at some point, because it had to have been said. Like
Right.
I don't think you just come up with that. You know what I mean? Like you
Mhm.
had to be coerced into that direction or something. Like
Yeah.
how did you get there? But I'm gonna go back the other way. I look at our makeup now, and not, I'm gonna go circumvent the national team. These kids in our country feel successful when they enter the room of this academy. That's what we turn this into. You are at a level of success if you somehow get selected and make it there. If the coach decides that you're good enough to be there, then all of a sudden you're on every news
Somebody.
post. You're the person everybody's watching because you're getting the most funding. You're flying around the country. I'm not talking about the athletes. I'm just talking about in general when it comes to what we've turned this view of success in this entire country.
That's a good point. It wasn't just
No,
being the national team; it was being part of that group because
for sure. Because some of
there's
them,
people out that
because
aren't
some of
on the
them,
national.
because there you go.
Yeah.
Sorry, there you go. Because some of them aren't even on the national team, but they had this like so from a culture you came in to try to quote unquote save to where we are now is where I have an issue as well. I just don't understand. This is what this feels like to me, and I try sometimes not to say what I feel when it comes to things like this because it's I don't know what you guys are thinking. Some of this shit's crazy to me. It doesn't. I can't piece it together where it makes sense, but to understand what they've turned our entire system into is crazy. When we talk about keeping our juniors and our cadets through a certain level, kids are turning their back. Early development seniors want to turn their back from this sport because they're going. My counterparts are in this program and
Yeah.
they're selling it to us. I think I just saw something on Facebook or something the other day about Stephen and I saying you can join in and be a part, but we plan to make the best athletes in America in this program. And bomb, us, I. This is what we are doing. They don't care about none of y'all. You
That's
guys are
crazy.
just the cash cow catalyst to get them there.
That's
And
right.
we're all doing it. We're all
And
doing it
it's
because I still believe that like I still gotta teach what I think is right to my guys and the guys that train with me and the
and think
coaches
of
that I interact.
think about like the whole division of everything. And I don't want to beat this up. We can kind of move on, but like now you have the academy logo. You have the academy team. It's 100% separated from USA Taekwondo. It's it's not US team. It's the academy team. They have their own black and yellow logo. They have their own shield. It has nothing to do with USAT. It should be USAT's national team, USAT national center. It literally is their own brand. That's what Steve McNally has allowed to happen to the organization. He doesn't care about the organization. Apparently, he cares only about the academy. That's that's the hard part for me. That's the hard part for me because if you're the boss and that's what you're letting happen, that can't be good for the organization. And you can say,
Mhm.
well, we have the best resources, we have the best things. Okay, but that should be for everybody. And it shouldn't be branded as something different. It should be for all of us. I got a young kid, a young child that's just into the cadet. That should be for her if she wants to do it. But like it's not because people think they got to play the game. People have to be selected. It's just why can't you just be the best, win, and have an invitation out there? It's again, we're beating up a dead horse. We've said this many times. Clearly they're not going to change. Clearly they have their 4 or 5 people that they're going to try to ride into the Olympics. Barring a person here or there, they're not quite sure what's going to happen, and that's it.
And their partners AAU over here fixing elections all over the country doing goofy stuff. The
It's
people
just
they've chose to work with, the people that are they're
it's
promoting each
messy.
other. It's messy, no?
It's
How did we
messy.
this is crazy. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I know you said we're beating up at that others, but this is sickening. And I think yesterday was the icing, the cherry on top for me. I
You had to
it's
be there,
rigged.
see it. You had to
You
be there,
had to.
see it.
You had to
Yeah.
see it. You had to feel it. You had to watch people make decisions that they didn't want to make. Like, you're just being told this is the right. You don't even know what this entails.
Yeah.
He out there promising scholarships and money, a pool of money for the athletes in this area. What are you talking about?
AAU.
What are you what are you talking about? Nobody in that room could have believed anything you said. It's impossible. You make no sense. And then he
Crazy.
quoted.
Go ahead, go ahead. No,
Go
go,
ahead.
go,
No,
go, go.
I-
No, go. Finish.
And then he starts talking about, yeah, it's crazy. We have Olympic coaches and Olympic something in this state that are not being utilized. And I'm like, what are we talking about? Are you talking about academy coaches? Who are you talking about? You talking about the another person that's in the room that's also on this side of the room? Who you talking about? He's just running his mouth, talking about he's gonna do this, and he's the guy for the job. Is crazy.
I
He
mean,
truly
God,
believes it.
and you know what? He got the votes, 22 of them to 19. I think that was the number.
Wow.
Okay. And all those votes, people that voted for him, I mean, we're gonna see come support time, come help time, come, organized time if they're there. Maybe they will be. I doubt it. And if they are, they're there for a year, not for too much longer. So I mean, it's gonna be anyway. Let's
What a
get off this.
joke.
It's funny because I didn't even think to talk about it like that deep and stuff like that. But let's talk about this Grand Prix because we had
Roma.
yeah, well, let's get into it. We could talk about it a little bit later, like kind of like what it means and stuff. But it's the first GP point reset June 1st. 2 years into the Olympics is the first major event. And what was your? And I'm going to break that. We're going to talk about the winners, but what was your first overall impression? Overall impression.
They changed the venue, right? That
They
wasn't
did.
the same.
They
Yeah,
did. Yeah.
that hurt my soul. It
It's the
wasn't
same
this.
location. It's just
It is.
another
I know, but
place.
it's like I know, but it didn't look as like deep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
that floor was a little bit more level with where the stands are.
For sure.
That deepness, you know what I mean, gave it like this appeal. But obviously, Rome's freaking cool.
Yeah.
I hate the Hogus. Can we start there?
We can start there. We might
I
finish
hate.
there.
I hate. I hate the Hogus.
Listen,
I don't
I,
understand the Hogus.
I didn't like I didn't see I wasn't watching, but someone posted like it's crazy young that there was a flyweight match that had 200, like I think they said there was like 200 points between the two of them.
In
Like
Rome?
something I don't think it could have been that much, but it was like there was like one round was like 36 to 35, or 42 to, like, it was just crazy. And then you watch other matches and no points went up. Like the inconsistency drove me nuts. I was just like I, I, I I didn't even know what to say. I'm like, I watched one
And then
player.
there's. Go ahead.
I watched one player every time he kicked, and I was just like, "What? Wait!" I couldn't even understand it. And the other guy's kicking him just as hard, if not harder. I couldn't understand what was going on. For once, I kind of felt like you, Young. I'm like, I, I don't know what's happening. It was, watching it on film live. It just was really, really awkward, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
And then I'm in the WT chat with the coaches.
Yeah.
And there's this talk of, and I've seen it and I felt it, and I'm in my chair going, no, we got to be better than this. This can't be true. It's my eyes are tricking me. My guy's not turning his foot over enough. And I'm like trying to convince myself I'm not crazy. But they're talking about one Hogu working better than the other.
Yeah.
During the same, like, and I've seen it. We've all seen it. We're all like, man, that Hogu's dead. Man, that Hogu's this. We just keep going using these Hogus over and over and over and over again.
Check this
The
one out,
fact that
Young.
we don't know, we will never know. We'll
Yeah,
never know
check
if
this
they're
out.
actually working.
This one out, Young. Like I thought this was crazy. So it's a final. Korea versus Italy, 58. An Olympic champion versus this really young upstart Korean kid who's pretty good too, very good. And like soon as they test, as soon as the match starts, the Italian coach stands up and says, he wants to check the chest protectors. So his player kicks with the right leg, douche, right leg, douche, right leg, douche, nothing. Kicks with the left leg, douche, it scores. They're like, hey, that side is dead. It's not working. So they do it again. They change out the Hogus. He comes there, he kicks it again, kicks it again, kicks it again. Kicks with his left leg this side and his left leg this side, and it works. So it turns out that his right foot sensors are dead all of a sudden. Now they worked all day long, but all of a sudden they're not working. And TJ, you remember in the Grand Prix Rome, there's always like weird stuff going on. Phantom points, crazy. I don't know if it's the outdoors. I don't know if it's the venue. I'm not sure what it was, but it was always some weird stuff. But that's crazy. This kid fought all day. He's in his fourth match or fifth match, at least fourth match, with the right. And all of a sudden, it doesn't score. It doesn't work. Like, how do you?
They're not. Everyone had their own socks though, right? Like it
Yeah,
wasn't like the weird sock sharing weird
no.
stuff. No.
And then they took it off. They took it off and put a new one on, and he went out and scored like 97,000 points.
It
It,
was juiced.
it was juice.
That's
It was juice.
crazy. Yeah,
So
the high scoring matches doesn't do it for me. It doesn't make
no,
it more. And again, I always try to put myself in the shoes of the person that said, and it's like they're trying to make it more fancy for the spectators. I just don't get it. It
yeah,
just looks like more confusing stuff.
watching the last, talking about the last 10-second things. I thought the referees, generally speaking, called it decently. They didn't like I saw some people what I thought were playing defense, and I thought for sure if it was in the East Open, they would have got called for not fighting. They were picking their leg up, canceling, moving back, counterattacking, and the referees didn't call not for fighting. So I think that was pretty good. It seemed like they called it when they went out of bounds or they fell or something like that. I still don't understand because the rule says for passivity. But the person attacking falls, they get -2 anyway. So it's crazy because it's not. They should just basically say, forget about the rule. If there's a deduction in the last 10 seconds, it's -2 or I'm sorry, it's +2 for the other person. They gotta get rid of this. That's where I'm kind of getting caught up on this.
It's crazy though. Yeah,
I can't get rid of
yeah.
Passivity.
passivity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Grandmaster, you wrote something on Facebook earlier today about
Oh,
any more than 5 rules, and then it's not a fight anymore. Then
Yeah.
it's more of a game. And I thought about that for a bit. I'm like, man, that has to be the case. Like, there's no other combat sports that puts all these constraints. And in the last 10 seconds, bonus rounds. And if I hit you with the same shot but I spin, it's +3. Like, it's it's
Mortal
outrageous. Like,
Kombat.
and, I,
Death
and I'm
blow. Death blow.
and I know I'm a little bad because I hate 6 points to the face. I hate that you could be winning a whole round, controlling, bam, 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 doing your thing, and someone spins and toe touches you, or even hits you for that matter. You got caught with one. Should that mean I lose the whole round after all the things that
but
I've
go,
done?
but go before that, TJ. Go before that. Let's say that you're uh oh my gosh, I'm looking at the game. It's 113, 111 with 9.4 seconds left. They just hit a 3-pointer to cut it
Who's
to
they?
2. San Antonio. San Antonio is New York just hit the 3-pointer to make it a 2-point game with 9.4 seconds left. No, I'm gonna go back to, but let's say it's 3-3, TJ, and you hit a spin kick, and all of a sudden now you get 6 points. Now it's 9-3. Like, and it's just I don't know.
Stupid.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate
Again,
all the
boxing,
bonus
you get
points.
jabs in the face. It's more than a body punch.
Yeah, but like if there's more than 5, I mean, we got too many rules now. 10, like even like you said, even if it is for both people, like I'm getting double penalties because the last 10 seconds because you made these rules that say because you want us to fight more. What?
One thing I'll say, like, I watched a lot of the matches, and I watched a lot of the matches. I was exhausted, but Coach Rosendo from Egypt, well, from Spain, who coaches for Egypt right now, in one of his interview, he said something really, I thought, nice and important. He said there was a lot of new people out there winning, and he said it wasn't because they were just winning; it's because their level is high. And I thought about that too. There was a lot of people. Listen, the 68 world champion who smoked everybody lost his second match to Burkina Faso. Like, the kid's not bad; he's tricky, but he shouldn't. It, tough. And that guy won his first match. The world champion won his first match 2-1 against Chinese Taipei, and it was a tough out. Um, the Olympic champion 58, Taejun Park, he lost his quarterfinal or second match, quarterfinal I think, to Vito, a former Olympic champion in 21. So there was a lot. I mean, the girl from Belgium, who's a world champion, she lost before the medal rounds. Caden Cunningham, Olympic silver medal, lost his match to a Korean in the quarterfinals. Um, there's just, I mean, so many people, so many good fighters lost, but some of these new guys were the ones to take them out, which is interesting to me. You know what I'm saying? It could be a whole new generation of people. The people that we have seen that were good, um, maybe these young kids are just too much for them now. Maybe, you know. So it was
That
interesting to
Thailand
see.
kid's pretty young though, right?
Vito?
No, the Thailand kid, Thailand,
Oh,
the
Tyler is
68.
very yeah, he's young,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
believe.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That 68 division was actually
it was wild.
it was wild. 68
Yeah.
was wild, and 80 was wild to me. I think I just think that I have
So
to agree. I don't know. So let's go back to the part that I like. So I know we just complained about the Hogus and we talked about the sport
yeah,
being goofy. I think I can appreciate when I see someone's ability to control the space, control the time, and control the tempo, kicking twice, getting a little bit deeper into the space and kind of finding a shot, like forcing their will, and it looks smooth, it looks aggressive, looks like it makes sense. You know what I mean? So I think there was a lot. I think the level is pretty high. I think you had a lot of guys that were okay with standing in front of each other and fighting with each other and not necessarily having to go back when they
I
want
think
to.
I like same thing. I like the young blood. I like the I felt like there was still some people missing. Iran was missing. There was Tunisia was missing. There was some big players that were missing. But I think overall, it seemed like again everybody was feeling each other out. Like where are we gonna go? And these Hogas were a lot like Charlotte. They were just flying up points all over the place. And then the next match they weren't. And so I think people were a little bit like it was when they were flying, they were flying. The people recognized it and they kicked a lot. When they weren't flying, people were like, a little bit more conservative, which was just strange. But I like that there was a bunch of new kids, like you said, standing in front of each other and seeing if they could find their way. Um,
I
I
don't.
mean, if
I
we,
hate when we start talking about like fighting the system because that's what you just said. Like
it
if
is
the
what I just
system was
said.
doing this, you're doing this. If the system was doing this, I hear like I always hear it talk like, oh, you got to score like this on data. You got to score like this on KPMP. And I try to sustain from that because I'm like, I can't make myself believe that's a thing. And I know it's probably true. I get it. It scores a certain way. You got to hit the up top of the foot. I know. I got it. I'm not saying I'm an idiot, but like, it's just, I can't wrap my mind around that. That's what we're doing. We're fighting to the system. We're fighting to the system and we're fighting to the rules. That's it.
Absolutely hated. And I cannot believe that it's weird how we go in these cycles. How many monkey kicks to the body. Just they get the clinch and people go boom, slap to the side. I'm like, I thought that was banned and we had gotten rid of that for so long.
But they're doing like everything else. Like the referees have been told. I know they had to have been told to ignore it. It
It
doesn't
was
exist. Don't call monkey kicks because there's
it
too
was
many of them.
it was crazy. It was crazy. I was just shocked that like every single time, whether it was Korea or Italy or USA or Jordan or Egypt, it didn't matter who it was. I'm like, what is going on?
I
That
did
looks
a
so.
whole going away video for the monkey kick and everything. I was so happy when they took that off. I remember that being a thing. I did a
Oh
whole
yeah,
video about them
oh yeah,
removing that.
yeah.
And we are back here again. And it's okay now. It has to be
And
okay. I need them to put out a statement saying monkey kicks are officially allowed again. That's all.
and
Just say
and,
it.
and I love to hear the referee say like, "Oh well, no, they made a mistake. Everybody's making a mistake. They must have made a concerted effort to say don't call that in the clinch."
They don't call monkey kicks. I've seen it at every level, every tournament, like different places. It don't matter. They're just letting monkey kicks go. Like
I mean,
Pan Am
it's.
Championships, they did a little bit when people were trying to go up the back when they were grabbing a lot, but no,
But
they
I
don't
mean,
call that shit.
listen, I was nah. I'm rationalizing. I was okay when people were getting into the clinch and their leg was already swinging into the body like a short swing kick or to the face. I was letting it, but these guys are in the clinch and literally going like that Iranian guy did back in Chilabinks when he invented that thing, and everyone's like nobody knew what the heck to do. And man, they let that slide a lot here. That's the thing I did not like at all. But let's talk about some of the winners, man, because 58 was won by Vito. Like I said, he beat that young kid. I think he's a high school kid from Korea. It was a tough match. It was 3 rounds. Um, I think he pulled it off. I mean, same thing. A lot of points were going up. I had no idea where they were going up. So, but give credit to him. Um, I don't think any other than Taejun Park, the Korean guy. I don't think
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. You guys have disrespected the monkey, and you cannot disrespect the monkey.
I'm listening.
because there is a good monkey and there is a good monkey kick. This monkey actually kicks better
Yeah.
than most of the current players.
Spinning kick.
Okay.
Spinning kick. Spinning kick. Come on, kick it hard. Kick it hard. Good kick. One more
He
time.
hits harder.
Good kick. Up.
Dude.
That's Charlie the monkey. He does self-defense too.
Roundhouse.
Just so you
Spinning
know.
kick.
And he
Spinning
listens.
kick. Spinning.
He said roundhouse, roundhouse, and the monkey did it. So before you get all crazy
My
about
boy
it,
trying to figure out what's going on.
that boy is better than most current players. That hook kick, if he hits you with that hook kick, you would go night night.
You would
That
go
is
night night.
That is Charlie the monkey. Been around a long time.
Nah, it's night night for shizzle. Nah, I mean, for the men, 68, I think was crazy. I think he was won by an upstart guy. He won the European Championships. I believe he won the under 21 Worlds. The kid from Turkey, who's just getting stronger and stronger. And that side of the bracket was nasty. They had the Uzbekistan kid, they had a Korean kid that was good. They had the world champion was good. I mean, they had some tough people on that side. And remember, I said this before. There's going to be a Korean kid that's really good that didn't make these first couple Grand Prix. I don't know if he made the second one. I'm gonna have to check. He's going to be. I think the Grand Prix is going to get harder as we go. Like I mentioned, I think Korea will be a little bit harder, especially because it's KP&P. So you're going to have to actually kick a little bit more. This system should have rewarded some people, like some Americans that could actually touch. But I mean, they fell. So that was interesting. And you called somebody back at the World Championships in China, TJ. The Russian kid had lost like early, had lost like in the round of 16
to Uzbekistan, I think.
To Uzbekistan, which was we just couldn't figure it out. And I think it was it did us a favor a little bit on the American side, but that kid fought the American kid and beat him pretty handily and beat the 74 world champion, pretty nicely, and then lost in the finals to the Turkish kid. So to my point, that Turkish kid is fighting really well right now, and definitely seems to be on this trend going up, and that's kind of scary. It's kind of scary as you're moving forward. So
that's the 68 bracket gets a little thick.
Yeah,
It gets a little thick, and I think, like you said, it's going to get thicker as we go on. Like you said, with just missing Iran and missing that. I mean, all the divisions without Iran, obviously you still got to work for it, but you throw them in there, and it's a little bit. I mean, you talk about 58. Like, what are we talking about?
You throw 58 in there. Come on, that's a wrap.
Yeah. He's bullying people right now. I think it's a little fortunate, but I think I still think it's going in the direction. I think this first Grand Prix was, I say, entertaining to watch.
What do you think about 80?
Too crazy.
What do you think about 80?
I mean, that was a surprise. A Spanish kid beating CJ and
fought, though.
You know what?
He didn't go away. He stayed in the space a lot.
Listen, against CJ, he lost the first round, 18-1, and the second round he kind of stole. And third round he was winning all the way through, and he hung on. But I'm gonna say something. I know sometimes we get little letdowns, and we shouldn't. I think there was a little hey, this guy's a 74 guy. This guy's new. He's gonna fold. He's gonna crack, and he didn't. He was a consummate Dado fighter. He knew how to score those points, and he weathered the storm. And I go back to in Guadalajara. Do you remember when Nicino, our Brazil boy, 74, beat Tunisia, beat the eventual Olympic champion? He beat him in 74 in the semifinal. And they went to the final against Spain, against Quesada. And I'm like, it's a wrap. This guy's small. This guy's not strong. And he just picked Nicino apart, and won the fight. We lost the world championship, got a silver medal. I kind of felt the same thing with my, our guy Enrique. He was struggling all day. This system is not good for him. He's not a ticky-tack fighter. He's a heavy-footed kid. You come, he up-us. You come, he pot chuggers. You come, he back kicks. He has a heavy shot, so this was not suited for him. And he went 3 rounds, I think, every match. He struggled, but I don't know what that says. It's I'm going to put my good spin on it. My good spin is he's a young kid. He's just getting all this shine from everybody. Everybody wants to talk to him. Everybody wants to see him. And it's his first real, series as a world champion. And he hasn't been fighting his best, but he's still been figuring out a way to win. He won the U.S. Open. He won the Pan American Championships. We talked about that, and here he gets to the final. He makes a final in his, basically his first Grand Prix. He fought a Grand Prix before, but this was before the Olympics, and it was, I wouldn't say, he was just literally getting his feet wet. So for me, I was proud that he was able to do that under those circumstances. Um, Granted, he didn't fight well in the finals. He got picked apart pretty badly by the Spanish guy. I can take my hats off to it, and he got whooped. He got beat. And so it's something that we'll have to go back and here's something. There's a reason why we're good on KPMP, because we have KPMP. We don't have Dado, and we're just getting it now. So hopefully in the future we'll be a little bit more accustomed to it when it comes to Dado in Paris, and then Dado. I think Dado is a Grand Prix final too. I have to check on that. But I have this thing, and I got it from the great coach Pat Riley, and he talks about surviving success and surviving. Thunderbolts is one thing that Rick Pitino, a basketball coach, talks about, and it's true. Like when you get to a high level, like sometimes the climb is easier than staying than being up there, right? The climb, because you're chasing people, you're trailblazing, and then when you get up there, you got everybody firing shots at you, and I think that's where Enrique is right now, and he's done a pretty good job. He hasn't fought his best at all this year, but he's won 2 golds in a final. I think that's pretty decent for a young man. I mean, it seems like he's keeping his head down, and hopefully we can keep him on that path. So I was very proud of him to get through there. I don't know what you thought, TJ. You watched some of his matches, and I I
Yeah.
I, I think the match that freaked me out. I'm going to say it was CJ's match, his second match against the Afghanistan refugee guy that trains in GB, lives out in California. He's nice, young, super nice guy. Um, his family lives in Southern California somewhere when I was talking to him. Um, but that guy beat him. He's not beat him pretty good the first round. In second round, he was beating him very good with 5 points up with 2 seconds left. That guy could have fell out of bounds. He could have jumped in and got touched in the head or get back kicked. He could do whatever he wanted to do. And he moves back, and CJ does a not a bun step on the ground and a double motion and a little flick in the back, and they gave him 6 points. And I'm not sure. In my opinion, it wasn't 6 points, but the coach didn't card it. So guess what? It was 6 points. But I would have been, my
It
ass
made
would
me
have been
feel like
burnt.
the it made me feel like the Olympic Games with Cisse and Nutella at the end of
Oh,
that Olympic
yeah.
final. That one, when you got the gold medal in your pocket, it's in your pocket. You're on your way home. It's time to take a shower, go to sleep, wake up the next day, and just like that, silver from a spin, from a body spin. I think that kind of went high, and he got all the points for it. Crazy.
I just think that for that guy, I mean, I like that guy and he trains well, but he honestly, he deserved to win that fight. He did so, and then he lost the third round 16-15. But like, I just you got your chance to again be one of the superstars of the the media superstars of the sport. You got a chance to put him to sleep in 2 rounds. Give a guy a third whack at you. I thought the coach should have
You think
carded.
people think like that? You think people think like that? You said you don't give them a third. Like, you think we're playing for keeps like that this early? Because in my brain, you're always playing for keeps. Obviously, that's why we
Understand why
talk
you
about the things
wouldn't,
we
but
talk about. I know, but like that was a crazy drop. Like, that just from that was tough. He had a lot of decisions in that match. You know what I mean? He had a lot of choice, a lot of options, and it was
I
bad. Whatever, it was bad.
I
It was
think that was
bad.
a bad. I don't know. I just, for me in
Tough,
this day and age,
tough.
there's not a whole bunch of things that you can card. So I would have definitely carded that to say it wasn't a spin. It gives your guy a chance to win the match right there. We don't even see a third round. And if you lose it, whatever. You know what? You go fight the third round. It is what it is. So that was a little intriguing to me. And then the heavyweight was another Seth from the number one seed from Egypt. He went out, in the quarters too. That was a little bit of a surprise, but that Russian is a big boy, man. He's beating everybody. He beat, the Italian Alessio, who's obviously a crowd favorite, yeah, super charismatic in the ring and stuff like that. Those boys are Those boys, they love fighting in Rome, bro. They love fighting in Rome. So I thought that was interesting. How about that 49 girl, that little girl from Russia? She won again.
She's
She won.
crazy. Her
She,
her legs are in the way of everything. Talk about
yeah,
like controlling
she,
space and
she,
everything.
I should find the, I got a picture of her on the stand. She's literally like this, and all the girls are like this. And she's not even just like, oh, smaller than those girls. She's small for the division. I think she's is about the size of my daughter. Like, and she side kicks, she roundhouse kicks, she's nasty. That little girl is something else. That was pretty
Yeah.
cool to see.
What do you think about 57 women?
Young, this girl Maria Clara from Brazil. She hasn't fought in 7 months. She had a surgery. She had surgery on her hip. She had a really bad hip. She hasn't fought one tournament. She goes there and waxes everybody. She don't lose a round. This is a
That's nasty. I don't
bad
even get it.
girl.
I
She's
don't get
like,
it.
I thought if there's a time to beat her, it was right now. I'm just like, she don't have her distance. She don't have her timing. She hasn't been in a real big game. Nothing. And she looked like she didn't skip a beat. She beat Korea in the final. Like it was like, yeah, 2 rounds to nothing. I was just like, damn, that's pretty impressive. Very impressive.
Yeah, it
And
was
then,
good. It's consistent.
yeah, in the 67, who won 67? Martin. Martin.
Yes, 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 yes,
She went
yes, yes, yes,
undefeated
yes.
too. She was pretty dominant. That was pretty easy. She's from Hungary, trains in Spain. She was pretty awesome. She won, I think, pretty easy. And
How many Americans went?
not many. It was they had
One, two,
I think,
three
no,
guys,
no, four guys.
four
Rodriguez,
guys, four
Rodriguez,
guys, four guys,
four guys and one girl. No, two
two
girls.
girls, two girls.
Two girls. Listen, I think Faith had a good chance. I mean, her quarterfinal was against that young girl from Canada, Ella Brewster, who is tall. She's a 62. She's very tall. I thought that I thought that Faith was going to be able to outgame her. You know what I'm saying? I thought she would kind of figure out the distance and stuff. But this girl is long. She's long for
And she's a
62.
little, and she's tough.
She's a tough girl. She's not going to back
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
I
She's
mean, I was a little surprised that she made the weight, but she did. And I think, again, I've been truthful with my guys. When they fight good, I'll tell you they fight good. When they fight bad, I'll tell you when they fight bad. And I can say that about other people. Sometimes people think I'm hating on it. I think she had a very fortunate draw. I don't think she ran into any static, other than Faith, and she got past Faith. So I give her credit. And then she lost her semifinal to Korea, and then Maria whooped up Korea. So you know, I think that was the case, for some people. And that's why I said it was weird because I thought it was a decent field for most divisions, but then there was just some weird playouts, weird
yeah.
playouts.
I gotta go back and watch. Coach Remark told me about this plus 67 Ivorian girl.
From Ivory
Like,
Coast?
yeah, I heard.
Dope.
I haven't watched that match. I heard she's the truth. I heard she.
The
Actually, I saw her
truth.
fight at like Dutch Open
The
somewhere else.
truth.
But he told me like at one point she decided to like stop fighting juniors so she could fight seniors. She only wanted to do seniors, and it was just cool to see her show up on the first place podium. I haven't watched any of the matches yet. I got to go back and watch.
Listen,
Easy
she's easy. She's
all
tall.
day.
She's tall. She's athletic. She can spin. She can kick. She's not like kind of just big girling it, keeping people away. She can fight. No, 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 no. She's the truth, man. She's the
That's
real
cool.
deal. That was easy, easy money. Like straight qualifying straight directly to the Olympics. I'll guarantee it right now.
Calling
Calling it. It's over. Calling it.
it.
So, and there were some people that fought at the Grand Prix and then went to Nuremberg to fight at the European Presidents Cup too. The 57s were able to, and the 67s were able to. So that was crazy. Then there's some people like Camila Salim tried to do it, but she came in, she did fight, she didn't win, but it was I
She
mean,
fought there first, then fought in Rome.
yeah, she tried
Okay,
to do
okay.
both. So actually kind of good because she's 46 there and she's 49 there. So I don't know if she loses weight for 46, but if she does, it wasn't a problem making the weight for 49. But that's a tall ask. for everybody, you know.
It
So
shouldn't be like that. It should never. That should never be.
yeah,
Uh, Coach Salim actually made a good point. Going back to we were talking about what we thought about Rome. I saw the same little video, and he posted that we shouldn't be changing the rules 2 weeks out or telling people what we're doing 2 weeks out. And it's hard for him, and that's what I like because he said it's hard for him to like 100% pass judgment whether it's good or bad because you just don't have enough information on it. And I think that's true. I think he's being modest a little bit because I know he's a pure fighter. I know he's a very knowledgeable, understandable of what this game is and what it was and what it should be and what actual fighting is. So I thought that was kind of a cool comment, cool kind of
so I
breakdown from
I,
him. You
I think it was extremely well said. So, Coach Salim, you're saying you use the word modest. I think he was smart and calculated in his. He wasn't going to sit there and say it's great. We like the new rules. Blah 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 blah. He said we need time. Blah 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 blah. And so I think it was an amazing statement. Versus other people saying the new rules are great and we love it and it encourages fighting all the way to the end. I'm like, what are you saying? Like, stop that. Like that's just ridiculous. And then there were some WT officials that said some things, and of course they're behind the rules, but they even admitted that we still have to make some tweaks and changes. And I'm sitting in my brain going, just by you admitting that shows that like 2 years out, a year and a half away from full qualification, and we're
I just
fixing
want
and
to
tweaking the
I just
rules.
want to know. I just want to know right now. They can fix. They can tweak. I just want to know that there's a master play. What is their perfect picture of what Taekwondo is supposed to look like?
That's a
That's
great
where
question.
I just want to know that. Because I know we always talk about them changing and adding rules, do all this crazy stuff. I just want to know where we're going.
Can I give you mine?
Yes.
Here's my lead the electronic logos. And I think this was, I really believe that this is what they thought was going to happen. Take the fighters from 95, take the fighters from 2000, take the fighters from 2004, and they fight the same way, they stand the same way, they do the same things, except for you don't have referees, you have electronics on. But that's not what happened. People realize that when you run in, I can just go, and people realize I can just put my guard here, you kick the crap out of my arms, and it's not going to score. Then people realize they could go like this. The Europeans realized they could twist and flop, and then they just found out ways to beat the system. The athletes were smarter than the system. The athletes were smarter than the people that made the rules. The coaches were smarter than everybody because they put together the plans. And here we are. And every time they come up with a new rule, we come up with a new strategy. Canceling. When people first said, you know what, you can kick that leg, people said, you know what, if I cancel and just slash you underneath, I can score. If I put my leg on top of you and you put your leg down, I can flop down and I can score. I can axe kick the body. An axe kick was meant for the face, but when people lean back and their hands are here, they can just drop their foot and they can score. People could do a hook kick when they're in the clinch, like a little donkey kick to wrap around from the backside because it just hits the back flank. Like they're just the coaches and athletes are too smart. And so I think the perfect world is fight like people fought in 1997, 1995, 96, 97, maybe 2000, 2004. The same power
So about
game,
2000.
double
Yeah.
kicking,
Yeah.
2008 maybe. Have a
2000.
Gabriel Mercedes fighting on this system, have a Chumu Yen fighting on the system, have a Hadi
I
fighting on
think
this system.
I think in 2012 it was a little bit. It was
Because it's still new,
degrading a bit, but it was still a bit. Like people were still like trying to fight a little bit,
for sure.
And then after that, 2013 on, everyone just started getting taller and longer. And then we go back to and then the rule starts to change where, like I said, you can hold your leg up as long as you want. You can do all these things. And you're right. It was the athletes, it was the coaches, it was all that stuff. It's just to imagine any of that from a cancel.
Look at the male winners in 2000. In '68 was Servet and Denishenko were in there, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And Servet was, come on, a consummate old school person.
For what year?
Denishenko, 2012. You're
No.
here.
No, it was him, Iran, me, and
So okay. Oh yeah, and the Afghanistan boy.
yeah,
All
yeah,
four of you guys were old school fighters.
Yeah,
Could you use the front leg? But Bagari was the old school fighter. He's from the
yeah,
old era.
yeah. They fought.
Servet
He
was.
fought. No,
Oh,
for sure.
think about
Nobody actually.
think about Sebastian. Sebastian from uh Argentina. He dude was chuggy back kick, defensive double kick. You know, like think about that era. People, you're right. There was still that because it started in 2008 to 2012. People weren't off the deep end. Like nobody was, crazily doing that kind of stuff. A few female divisions, but even in that, you had Wu, you had what's her name, Brigitte in 49. You know, obviously Jay Jones had a nasty front leg, but it was like a side kick up out fast front leg. It wasn't like real weak. 67 was Page was still, kind
Yeah,
of,
there was
bulk. Yeah.
kickers. There were still kickers. I think it went to about then, and then whatever happened with the rules right after that. Because I know it was a
Yeah.
height thing. I know all that stuff, but whatever happened right after that was
You know what
where it
happened?
completely went.
That's where
What?
Dato took over. Because before it was LaJust. And LaJust sucked. And
Mhm.
then Dato came in, and that's when people started learning how to. But anyway. Listen, I was I think for Brazil to get two finals, a gold and a silver was pretty good. It wasn't great. We had a couple other people win matches, but nothing outstanding. We had two of our bigger people that I thought. Now they had some tough draws. We had our Milena fought with Ruth, and Ruth beat her, and we had Nachito fight a Korean, and he lost to that Korean, and that Korean ended up
Hey, I
losing.
like. Yeah, he went out there and fought him though.
Yeah, it was good. I think he
Yeah,
should have
they
won
were
the
kicking
first
at each
round.
other.
Yeah, but then the Korean lost to the Russian, then the Russian, beat the Uzbekistan, and then the Russian. It was a lot of people beating a lot of people. So um, the next one's not for until beginning of September. We have the President's Cup in August, and then that. So we got a little time to kind of calm down a little bit
A lot
and
of
make some
time.
adjustments. Yeah, a lot of time. Really, you got
A good amount of time.
June, July, and yeah, man, you got like 3.5 months. Matter of fact, we're gonna have to fight again somewhere. So.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that timing. I like that amount of time between this first one and the second one. I can dig that. I think
Yeah,
it'll
yeah.
interesting. You said you'll probably have Tunisia, hopefully Iran back in those divisions. So
All my fans that are watching, all my fans that are stalking on social media, I will be there just because you asked in Muju. I'll leave it at that.
I wish I was going to Muju. Send me a gift card or
I'll
something.
take you
I'd
a
like that.
gift card to Muju. Young,
Yeah.
come on, go see Steve Young.
I've been to Muju. If I never go back, I'll be okay. But I'll
No,
go see
no, go to
Steve. I'll
go to
go to
Seoul,
Seoul. When is the tournament? When is it?
September like 4th, 5th, and 6th or something like
Then
that.
I'll go then. I'll go then. I just got to
Hey,
look at.
I got some pretty good calls today. I know we're almost an hour and 10. I just want to say before I get off, I got some pretty interesting calls today about what I posted on Facebook, and I just wanted to say thank you to the real ones that reach out and they know what's going on. And I know, but I'll be honest with you guys, we got to fight now. It has to be now. Like it's only gonna get worse from here. We're watching this happen live in front of our faces, and I know there's a few of us saying a lot, doing a lot, being a lot, but you guys are. It's now. It has to be now. If we're gonna save whatever this sport was supposed to be and what it was before, it has to be now because we're just watching these guys do whatever they want and smile and cheer about it. They're not even quiet about it anymore. They're doing it out in public.
DJ, there's some prominent coaches like yourself, like Coach Gianni, the TNT brothers. There's a bunch of these good coaches like that. You guys all need to get together. You guys all need to have a voice, and I don't know if they're willing to or they're scared to or whatever, but I don't know why they should be scared to. Like it's just crazy to me to think that anybody in this day would be afraid. Somebody said you should be careful
Because
what you
the
say, and I'm like,
because you're trying
careful,
to because at some
careful.
point you're trying to yeah, I know.
Like,
For
think
what?
about that. Careful. Again, I'm not talking about calling somebody, any bad name or anything like that. I'm just talking about stating your opinion. Why should you be careful? Any of you coaches out there that talk like you're so tough, that talk to me in private, that send me messages, that call me, bullshit, this. Please just be a human being, be a man, be a woman, because not just men. I have women that call me too. Just talk. Say it. talk with other people, get with some people, and 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 and,
You
and try
know,
to get a change. Have a
it's that
voice.
I think that is that initial thing. Like, I'm gonna do it to help my kids. I'm gonna make sure I don't want to stand out because if I say this, if I do this, they're gonna have some backlash against my club or my team or my people and this, or I'm never gonna get invited. It's rigged already. Just so you guys know, I keep repeating. You're not. Yes, sir.
I think my daughter's asleep. Well, if that's the case, my daughter has never have a chance.
Yeah,
But I don't believe
that's
that. If she's good enough
it's
to get, she'll
impossible.
win. If she's good enough, she'll win. And if she's not, no problem. But I have no problem saying what I say right here. That if you're gonna try to take it out on my daughter, okay, no problem,
Yeah.
no
I
problem.
think that's where it starts. I think they think that, not saying it helps the cause, and they got to keep their head down and try to figure out another way. I don't understand. I had someone tell me the same thing. Like, if I don't do something, then I'm doing nothing or something like that. And it was about trying to create team and do all this travel stuff and do this and this. Like, let's not pretend that this hasn't already happened before. Like, why is this time going to be different? Why is it going to run a different path?
Yeah,
How are you and why are you going to just it's just gonna work out? I
yeah,
don't understand.
yeah.
You
These
got
people think
people
they're
you have
phenomenal. These
people that
they're
have
gonna
had
change.
long running relationships with these people that have worked from the beginning. Someone asked me, do I have I ever tried to have two, what was it, two personalities, act this way with someone, act this way? And I said no. Why
It's
should I as a man need to act one way with this way? I'm not rude. I'm not disrespectful. I don't try to like dictate and do all, no, but I'm gonna tell you what I think. I'm like, no, you want me to just be this way just so I can, I don't know, get along to be apart?
it's not.
That's the problem.
And it's funny because it's not even like, listen, we all have had people in our lives that every time something doesn't go their way, they just blow up and they yell at people and they're crazy. Like you're not like that at all. I mean, we can be diplomatic. We can agree to disagree. We can be like, listen, you know, that we can, you know, we just have these debates. We have these what do you call uh opinions, and that's okay. You should be able to do that. And these people should be able to do that without any fear of repercussions. And like you said, TJ, I hate that thing. Oh well, I just got to be quiet because I don't want to hurt my guys. I'm just doing it for my guys. What does that even mean? If you really were doing it for your guys, you would stand up. Just like in a match when you're saying, "Hey, that wasn't a come, John." You feel free to do it there. Why not anywhere else? If your kids are good enough, they'll make that cadet team and that junior team and hopefully that senior team. And if you can't go and they got to go coach somebody else, just you know what, coach them as well as you can and wish them well until because that's gonna what's gonna change it. That's what's gonna change it.
And be honest
So
with people. Like, I'm very fortunate that my group of people, my athletes and my parents that I work with stand behind me fully. They listen to this podcast, they hear me say the things that I say, and they stand behind me fully. And I think that's, be honest with people. Tell people, don't hide these kids from the systems, right? Not the kids, but tell the parents how bad this is. Let the parents know that this isn't right. Let's stop trying to work around this and pretend that it's going to end up in some yellow brick road situation and you're going to be in the Emerald City. There's no Emerald City. There's no Emerald City. It's not there anymore. You're leading to one place and one place only. That's for your kid to either be done with the sport and no real belief that they can actually get to the highest levels unless they go to this one room, talk about these one group of people that have the one methodology. It has to be that way. Forget junior, forget the team trials, forget states, forget national, forget all that stuff. Just go to that room. And that's what we sold to this entire culture. And these coaches believe it. They all say, should I go? Should I play the game? Should I do this? The answer's got to be no. If you believe that you're the best for your athlete, then be the best for your athlete. Give your athlete what you thought has always been the best for them. If your voice is the strongest in that moment, then fight for them. Fight to be in the ring with them because you deserve to be there. If you're better for them, then do it. That's it.
Fight the powers
evolution will
that
not be
be.
face in your face.
Elvis was a hero to most. I said Elvis was a hero
He
to
never mean
most.
shit to me. He was straight up racist. That's public enemy, and people don't know about that. Yeah,
We
but
beat
listen,
this
we've gone.
horse. We beat this horse. But remember
I
a
know.
couple of things. Thank you, sir. May I have another? That is the general membership's plea to both USA Taekwondo and AAU. Sorry, not sorry, brothers. Great shirt. Get to the website. Get the app. The app is on the store, web warehouse 15. And then remember, as we always say, the revolution will not be televised, but it will certainly be podcast size. And with that, gentlemen, we are out.
Peace.
All right, I'll get it up.
Sí. Mira cómo están las cosas. Despierta. Levántate. Firmes. Peso pesado. Sin caer. Escucha. Lucha contra el poder, rompe la cadena. Lucha contra la pasividad, rompe la pena. Arráncate la venda de los ojos, mira de frente. Abraza la verdad cruda, la que muerde de repente. Lucha por tus derechos, exige lo que es tuyo. Nunca te conformes con migajas ni con orgullo. Surgiendo del concreto, saliendo de lo salvaje. Con las manos limpias y el pulso en el abordaje. No dejes que endulcen tu mente con su veneno. No dejes que te cambien el grito por silencio. Atascados por los que frenan cada puerta. Mientras tú sigues de pie con la mirada abierta.
Los que prometen se desaten al hablar. Los que vigilan temen verte despertar. Pero el piso tiembla cuando dices la verdad. Y el miedo se les nota al verte avanzar.
No me tapes la vista.
No me vendas la voz.
No me tapes la vista.
Que ya despertó.
No me tapes la vista.
La calle habló. No me tapes la vista, ya cambió.
Los pronosticadores mienten, venden humo en papel. Dibujan un futuro que se rompe el amanecer. Y los que mastican verdades lo hacen por costumbre. Devoran lo que nace para que nadie alumbre. Hablan mucho pero se esconden en la sombra. Nosotros damos el paso, la tormenta nos nombra. Sin miedo, sin temblor, con la frente en alto. Cada esquina es un frente, cada calle un asalto. El futuro está en tus manos, no en su mesa fría. Tú lo sacas del barro, lo enciendes cada día. Es hora de recuperarlo, de ponerlo en pie, de romper el cerrojo y decir: aquí estoy, aquí fue.
Mira bien la transmisión, limpia la oscuridad. La verdad se abre camino cuando cae la ciudad. Y si el ruido quiere ciego, tú contestas con la piel. Que la historia cambia sola cuando te...
No me tapes la vista.
No me vendas la voz.
No me tapes la vista.
Que ya despertó.
No me tapes la vista.
La calle habló. No me tapes la vista, ya cambió. La revolución no va en pantalla. Va en los pies, va en la garganta. Va en la madre que no se calla. Va en el hijo que se levanta. Sin